So this is the third video in the series on chasing symbols in the ArcGIS Maps SDK for JavaScript. In that, similar map, but this time, hey, no busted faucet in that. Now this symbol's a little bit bigger than the rest, and that. So, and even this one over here is a little bit bigger as well, and that. But we're okay right now. This is some fine tuning that we can figure out later. But we fixed this part. So how do we do that? And that sort of thing. So it doesn't hurt. Well, let's start in the HTML. So we'll go in here. One is I roll back. So the first video I started in div. Second video I switched to images, thinking that solved it. Then I switched back to div in that. What I found is that the faucet symbol in that was actually, these were coming across as image, but then the preview sent back SVG on this one, and then image. And so what that means is trying to put an SVG into the image source tag wasn't going to work, but I had to sort of be generic in that. If I have a div, I can easily put an image in it as a child element. That would work. Or if it was SVG, I could do the same thing. That. And then you get into, are you going to do inner HTML, or are you going to do append child concept? But we'll talk about that once we get into the code. But I had the big change here is in HTML land. I switched back to a div and that. So I was going to jump over here again. This becomes more simple in terms of imports. I just have a map view and a web map. So in this one there is no legend view model being used, which means I'm going to go directly back to the layer to get the symbology in that. But I am going to use symbol utils to convert the symbology. Again, same chip and chip group with an event handler for when the selection changes. We have our map. We'll roll that up, use that map to create a map view in that. Don't need the legend view model in this case because they're going to go directly to the layer in that. I'll switch things up a little bit. I just go, hey, when the view is ready, right? In that, and this is, as you experiment more with the SDK, you'll come up with your own go-to when you feel, hey, should I be watching the map when it's ready or the view when it's ready kind of concept. And here I just, without the watch utils, there's a built-in when. Maybe that's enough in that. Always trying to strip out code if I don't need it in that. And if I can go with a built-in sort of kind of like a watch, a built-in watch when kind of deal, and I go hydrate my chips in that. Start using terms that they seem to be using in the interface world. So hydrate chips a little bit bigger in that. Here I'm going to go to the map, get its layer. Still got to, do you want to hunt this by position, by name? There's lots of options here, but what you're after is its renderer, and you kind of got to know that ahead of time that my renderer is a unique value renderer, and then I can go after its unique value render infos, which will have the labels and the symbology. And then so for each of those, I'm just going to cycle through them and basically hunt down the chip, put its label in, that sort of thing. And then I'm going to do an await on the promise in that. And so got to be inside an async function, just so you know, in that. And so this will pause basically in that. And so I didn't need an extra function to preserve the label name, but maybe, maybe that's a better way to do it. Could this cause a little bit of a jank on the interface because you're waiting to get all these, maybe, and that. And so in terms of smoothness of the interface, the butteriness, maybe I should go back to the old way that I was doing it, and that sort of thing. Now this is, I'm doing a bunch of other things here is, what I wanted to get away from is having different code. I just want to be able to grab whatever comes back from render preview and stuff it in the div, and then take the div and stuff it into the image slot of the chip. That's the plan. in that. But what's coming back from render preview doesn't have any style on it. So I added a style chip icon. Because what I found was that the chips weren't quite centered. It didn't feel centered, but maybe they were too big. And so that's a style I added here for my chip icon, that if you're too big or too small, if you're too small, scale up. And if you're too big, scale up. It's a little trick, you know, by setting it to percentages, it'll do a scale up, scale down for you in that. Let's jump back to code. And so I inject this class as the render preview comes back. I add this class to it just to set its size. That helped me out with the images. Now I did have to put a little bit of magic in there and say, hey, if what comes back is not an image, right, and it's a div, they probably sent me back a div with an SVG in it. And that, so I'm going to go down to the child node and set its view box to a 02. Now this is a little hack. I found a bunch of hacks on Stack Overflow and none of them worked. Just so you know, about trying to center, text align center on the div didn't work, and trying to set the size on the div that the SVG in wasn't working either. It could be the SVG that gets shipped. I had to go down and set the view box on the SVG from 0 to 32. They do send you back the concept, I guess, conceptually a 32 by 32 bit like icon kind of concept with, and so when I set the view box on it, they got centered and that sort of thing. And we can comment some of this stuff out as well, just as we play around to see the difference on it and that. And I just console out the label, more debugging stuff and that, and then also set the label on the chip in that. So what we can do is we can play around, because I do say swap some lines here and there and test that out as well. And you can see, like, you can see that without the A weight, what happens in that. Well, one is like, yeah, let's just take a look, right? Never hurts to look at this in action and that. So this is the map, right? Well, this is the code running. And so faucet's working and that sort of thing. Good in that. So we could demonstrate the race situation that if you don't do this A weight, what's going to happen? So this is where the for loop is going to get way ahead of the promises that bring the chips back. Does that have an effect and that sort of thing? Yes, it does have an effect, right? Although we get all the labels back, right? What's funny is only faucet gets updated. Why? Why faucet? And it's the wrong symbol, right? It's not even the faucet symbol, that sort of thing. Faucet, and so the way I have the chips in the HTML doesn't matter. What matters is where is faucet in the unique value renderer in that. And if we go back to here, actually, and I go to structures and that, and I go to the unique value render, faucet is the last one, right? Now the thing is, what would be fun? Let's see. This might actually happen for us. If I'm going to close these down. So I will bring that back there. Yeah. So faucet is the last one in the list. And so it gets a symbol. Oh, look, the symbol changed on this one, right? And that sort of thing. So that's, and that. I don't know if we refresh this enough times. Oh, now it's that's not faucet, but that's fountain symbol and that. And I'll do it again. Oh, unknown one that time. And gate one that time. And that sort of thing, and and that, and so cooking one that time. So what you might notice is what symbol's coming in here is different every time, and that's basically whatever promise works, or actually not works, but they're working. It's whoever comes in, maybe last, first or last, and that will make a decision, and that, or we could vote, and that sort of thing. Probably since there's only one is coming in, it's maybe probably getting substituted, a whole bunch of times. And the last promise to resolve is the winner of who gets placed in there. So if we do our weight, right, and a weight actually, then we might get back into Happy Land here. Can we find Happy Land? Yes, everyone's got their symbols and they got the proper ones. and that sort of thing. Let's take out the viewport so you can kind of see what's going on. I'll comment out some stuff so we can see. So although I eventually got back to where I want it to be, all my symbologies, I'm handling whether they're images or whether they're SVGs by placing them in a div. But I did have to put some more, secret sauce on there to get things to work and that sort of thing. So if we take out this class, hopefully it starts to behave. Come on. Yes, thank you. There. What happens? And that sort of thing. So let's go back there. Right? Now my images are getting cut off, right? They're not fitting in, right? They're too big and that sort of thing as well. And so but these are technically image, SVG, image. And that. So without my resizing part, that causes a problem. So again, we can put that back, take a look, and see that now they're fitting inside the chip again. And that what I wanted. I'm not missing part of the image. And then there was the secret sauce here on finding the SVG and that. And so if I don't do this, what happens, right? And that. And so let's go back here and take a look. You might notice that now faucet is not sizing properly. Part of it's being cut off and that. Now you might be okay. Like if you're just trying to work out code, this is make it look good, and this can burn as much time as code sometimes. But what I found was the way it was coming over, the only way I tried different things about sizing and centering the div and text align and changing display from block to inline and all these things. None of it worked, right? But way out there in the internet, someone's like, the only way really to do this with scalable vector graphics, the way you really want, is to affect that view box. Now their sample went from 0 to 100, so I thought it was a percentage deal and that. And so that's not going to work. Hey, let's try. Well, we should try show you that, right? When I thought the coordinate system was 0 to 100, like thinking 100% or something. All right. So maybe this is a 100% deal, a scaling thing. No, that's not the answer in that. You just get a very tiny image in that. Yeah, very tiny up here, right here, and that sort of thing. So you go, okay, or you're just seeing a corner of it or something like that. And it was to stretch this out from 32 to 32 using the view box. Now this is like adding an attribute. Is it changing the view box or adding it? It might do both. It might change it if it's there, or add it if it's not there, and that. And then that way I get the chips exactly the way I kind of want. I wanted them centered. And I still have, like, it feels to me some of them look a little bit bigger and that sort of thing. We'll see. But again, I have the right symbol in the right chip. They kind of centered, not cut off. I'm okay. There's a couple that are bigger. Faucet and unknown in that. But for now, that's okay. I mean, yes, I look at that. I want them all the same size and that. But it's way better, and it should still be working. I don't know if I've updated this code. Table and cooking. Are we happy? And that sort of thing. Table and cooking in the console. Yes, cooking and table in that. Now, I had these reversed at one time. Oh no, I fixed this one good in that, about who was the subset in that. But it's still working. The idea that the user can come in and say, I'm looking for a park with these features, and then that'll reduce the list on the side, which is, wasn't built at the time because I was just, down the rabbit hole of chasing symbols and getting them the way that I wanted them to be. Again, this is different than the previous videos in that I'm going directly to the layer. I'm putting it into a div. But I still have to add a little bit of, sauce gravy to smooth out the size of the images and to adjust the viewport on the SVG to get it just right. But that's all for now.